I was 24 years old. I had a car, an apartment, a job. Everything in life to make you happy, right? Well, one day something happened, and for the first time in my life, I had to really think.
I'm sorry, sir. I was down in the library.
Look, Sarah, you're going to have to answer the phone quicker than that, you know.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sarah. Put the phone down and let's try it again.
Yes, sir?
That's the way, Sarah. That's the way. Good, good. Look, Sarah, could you come in with your pad and pencil?
Yes, sir.
All right.
In conclusion, I would echo Hegel when he said the infringement of right is something that happens and has positive existence in the external world, though inherently it is nothing at all.
Excuse me, Professor. Hegel, is that H-E-G-E-L?
That's right, Sarah. German philosopher. You know, Sarah, there are more important things to life than spelling. Don't interrupt my thoughts again, Sarah. Where was I?
Though inherently it is nothing at all.
Nothing at all, right. The manifestation of its nullity is the appearance also in the external world. This is the right actualized, the necessity of the right mediating itself, with itself, for itself, by itself, between itself, by annihilating what has infringed it. Yes, I have that in triplicate, Sarah.
Is this in quotation marks, sir?
Is this in quotation marks? I like that, sir. I really do. That'll be all, Sarah.
Yes, sir.
Sarah, did you mail those letters I gave you?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what about the library books? Have you got them yet?
Well, I haven't had a chance. You see, you didn't order them at the proper
Look,
time.
Look, Sarah, I need those books. I'm tired of listening to your excuses. Get them.
George. Yeah, it's Sarah. Listen, is there any way I can get Dirndl's books? I know, but I'm putting on hold. Yes, sir?
Sarah, listen. The word in the last sentence is not annihilating, sir. It's annulling, sir. Have you typed it, Sarah?
No, sir, it's all right. Annulling.
Good. Oh, Sarah, did my wife call?
No, sir, she didn't.
Oh, well, did Marlene call?
No, she didn't either.
Oh, all right, Sarah, all right.
George, are you still there? Yeah. Listen, I'll have to call you back. Yes, sir?
Sarah, could you get me a coffee, please?
Yes, sir.
And what about the library books? Have you got them yet?
Well, I'm working on it.
Oh, good. And what about the typing? Have you finished that?
Well, I haven't had a chance. You just dictated it to me.
Bring in what you've typed, Sarah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
There you are, sir.
Did you have salami for lunch? Sarah?
Yes, sir.
Is this a joke, Sarah?
A joke?
Yes, a joke. Joke. You see, Sarah, there's no punctuation in any of this. It doesn't make any sense, Sarah.
Well, no, sir, it didn't make
Of
sense.
course it makes sense. Don't you understand anything? This is Hegel. Sarah, you're dumb, broad, lazy, ignorant, and stupid, Sarah, stupid. Now, Sarah, take this report, type it up again, and bring it back to me correctly punctuated. Do it. Sarah! 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 Damn. Hi, Arthur. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Arthur.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Arthur.
Hello, Arthur.
Hi, George.
Oh, Ursula. Yeah. We just met a man who was Professor Durnville's new tutorial, get this, assistant.
Tutorial assistant.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's my old job, tutorial secretary. They just changed the name because it's a man.
never mind, Sarah. What's in a name? A rose is a rose is a rose.
Yeah, but that rose probably gets more money.
Why doesn't somebody complain?
Doesn't somebody complain? Arthur, for God's sake, we've complained 3 or 4 times. Nobody does anything. That's the problem.
Well, it's time there were some changes around here. Believe me. Look at me now. Where have I ever gotten this place? And I've been here 15 years, eh? Now, when I first started here, by cracky, I had a lot of ambition. And when I went into Johnson's office, I thought I was getting my first break. Hi, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, hello.
I'm Ursula Waters, your new secretary.
Oh, Ursula. Oh, well, just shove some of that junk aside, dear, and put your bag down anywhere. It doesn't matter around here.
Well, I bring all those envelopes, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, I don't know. They come from downstairs somewhere.
Hey, do you know what you've got here? These are computer runoff sheets.
What?
They're very important to this department.
Hello, Johnson here. What? Oh, yeah, 62, 63. Just a minute. Temporary help and banquet facilities. Well, I'll have to call you back with that information. Okay, bye-bye. Ursula.
Yes.
Look around and see if you can find the budget for 62 and 63, dear. And tell me how much we spent on temporary help and banquet facilities.
Yes.
Oh, and look around for a brown leather glove. My wife left it in here yesterday. I don't know where it is.
I'll be glad to, Mr. Johnson. If you just tell me, where's your record-keeping system?
You're in it.
Well, whatever you call the system that keeps track of your expenditures, you know, that tells you whether you're on budget or off.
Oh, we just wait till the end of the year, dear, and muddle through.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, look, just leave things, and I'll see if I can find that information you wanted. And
Whatever you like, dear.
I spent 2 whole years working in that department and pulling it up from a mess. I did the work of an accountant. I established my own bookkeeping system. And what do you think happened? Excuse me, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, dear.
I just wanted to explain the system of bookkeeping set up
Ursula,
for the
what's
department.
this?
Now, you can tell at a glance, you know, where the department stands from week to week. Under here, there's
Ursula,
community
this is
service.
wonderful, just
and
wonderful.
temporary help.
No,
and,
Ursula, I've just got to tell you,
Oh?
because of the efficiency of this department in the last year,
Oh.
because of your hard work and our little system here, I've been kicked upstairs.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Johnson. I'm very pleased.
Ursula, you know it's all due to your good work, dear. This is just wonderful.
Well, if you really feel that way, Mr. Johnson, if you really feel that I have done a good job, would you recommend me for a raise and supervisor of this department? I'm going to school nights.
A supervisor.
And I know I can
now,
do the work.
Ursula, I'm afraid that position has already been filled by a man, a Mr. Hamilton Biggs. I really don't think you have the qualifications, dear, for the job. And
But I've been doing
as
it.
to the raise, I'm afraid you're going to have to ask the new supervisor, Mr. Biggs, when he arrives.
Well, I asked Mr. Biggs, for a raise, a promotion, and so on. He said, he had to consider it, He'd only been there a little while, et cetera, baloney, But he made sure that he went up the ladder. Now, that was 6 years ago. And he never did do anything for me except take me along with him because, I knew the ropes. But here I am. I'm still a secretary.
Hey, did you hear about Flossie Gallagher?
No. What? What about her?
Well, she's a secretary to Professor Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got promoted, and she got demoted.
Sam, is that true?
Well, I'm going to go in and see Smalley about Flossie.
Oh, good for you.
Edgar Smalley, I want to talk to you. What is all this about Flossie Gallagher being demoted? Do you know how hard that girl has worked for the past 7 years for Stewie Smith? She did everything for that man but burp him. Now, she deserved to be upgraded right along with him. And I want to know why someone else got that job.
Now then, Ursula, what seems to be the trouble?
Why was Flossie Gallagher demoted?
I know no such thing. She wasn't demoted. She was merely transferred to another department.
Oh, Edgar, don't hand me that baloney. I've been around here too long. She's back now to earning what she was making 2 years ago. Now, if that isn't a demotion, I don't know what you call it.
Well, I'll be perfectly frank with you, Ursula. You see, Flossie didn't have the outgoing personality.
Edgar, as head of personnel, you had it in your power to prevent this happening, and I want to know what you're going to do about it now.
Ursula?
When you're head of this department, you may do as you please. Till then, I run this show. Get out.
Edgar, management can only push us so far, and you have just about reached the limit. You haven't heard the last of this, I assure you.
So we decided that we had to find out what the rest of the staff felt about unionization. We were just a very small group of people, and because the staff association elections were coming up, we thought that it might be a good idea to run a slate of candidates on a union platform and turn the staff association into a union.
Hi!
Barbie!
Yeah. I brought you some coffee.
Oh, isn't that nice? Well, there's my cup.
Oh, good. I forgot a cup. I just love it up here in the president's office.
Oh, well, not the president yet, Barbie. I'm just the vice president.
Oh, that's okay. I still like to work up here.
Well, who knows? Maybe one day you will.
You think so?
Well, why not?
I wouldn't have to join any old unions to get for... Oh, dear. Oh, ooh. You got all
Okay. Union, Barbie?
Oh, yeah.
Barbie, why don't you come right here and sit on the vice president's lap?
Really?
Well, why not?
Oh, wow. What do I tell everybody now?
Now, tell me, Barbie, what do you know about this union?
Oh, nothing.
Well, Barbie, do you think you could do me a little favor?
Sure.
Maybe you could go around and find out everything that you know about the union.
Oh, okay, sure.
Good. Well, why don't you just run along and run along now and do that?
Oh, okay. Well, bye-bye.
Oh, don't forget your party.
Oh, no. Bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Smalley,
Sir?
this is Biggs.
Yes, sir.
It's about this union business, Smalley.
Sir?
I'm afraid this means war.
War, sir?
Come to my headquarters, PDQ.
Yes, sir.
At ease, Smalley.
Sir?
Smalley, I've received a phone call from the president, and I'm afraid that we're going to have to deal with this union business immediately. Now, I heard something along the lines of infiltration, mind, Smalley. We need a fake.
Think. I've just a man in mind, sir.
Good. Who is he?
Frank Wilson, sir. Public relations.
And where is he?
In my pocket, sir.
Well, good. Have him up here, then.
Yes, sir. Wilson, coming up.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wilson, I understand that you used to be president of the Staff Association. Is that correct?
Is that correct, Wilson? Yes, sir. That's correct.
Good. Now, Wilson, there seems to be some unfortunate talk about unionization within the Staff Association. And contempt of authority will not be tolerated. Is that clear, Wilson? Good. Now, Wilson, you see, I seem to need your assistance. And I need to know who the ringleaders are, what they're up to, and when, Wilson. When? What do you think you're going to help me, Wilson?
Can you, Wilson? Can you? Yes, sir. He can help you, sir.
Good. Well, then, tally-ho, then.
Okay, Flossie, now what's all the trouble? You sounded hysterical on the phone.
Oh, yeah, well, Ursula, you see, I feel that there must have been a reason why I was demoted, and, well...
Come on.
No, really, if I got involved with this union thing, then, oh, they'd fire me.
Look, you've got nothing to worry about. They cannot legally fire anyone for organizing. Now, that's the law.
Oh.
Hi. Listen, can you tell me everything you know about the union?
Prego.
Oh, you're foreign. Oh, union.
Scusami, io non capisco.
Union.
Union.
Yes, kitty. What do you know about it? Oh, well, look at that. Don't feel too bad, huh? Because I don't know anything about it either. Bye.
Oh, hi, George? Yeah, Gabrielle. Uh-huh. Yeah. Look, it looks like we're going to have about 300 people at the next meeting. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.
Excuse me. May we have quiet, please? Thank you. First, let me say how delighted we are that so many of you have shown up for this Staff Association meeting. Now, we have some very important facts for you, and we have someone here who is going to present them. And it is my pleasure at this time to introduce this person to you. So here he is. Here's George Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you a chart which the University Administration is pleased to call salary ranges. Salary ranges for clerical, secretarial, and technical staff. In other words, you and me. Now, you will see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grades of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps each. Simple, eh? This is what is known as university gobbledygook, or meaningless claptrap to confuse the workers. Now, according to our records, there are 23 of you, or 2%, in grade 1. In grade 2, there are 90 of you, or 10%. In grade 3, 350 of you, or 34%. And in grade 4, 240, or 24%, which means that in grades 1 through 4, earning anywhere from $4,162 a year to $7,221 a year is 70% of you. Now, in grade 5, there are 110 or 12% of you. In grade 6, 90 or 9%. In grade 7, 50 or 5%. And in grade 8, 27 of you, or 3%, which means that in grades 5 through 8, earning anywhere from $6,674 a year to $11,560 a year is 30% of you. Now, those of you who are quick in mathematics will already have deduced that 70% added to 30% makes 100%, or all of us, which means that in grades 9 and 10, there is a zero, a zilch, not a living soul in the top 2 higher grades. Now, taking this chart as a whole with 10 grades of 6 steps each, that is approximately 60 steps, and moving through the chart as the University Administration would have us move, i.e. step by step, with a minimum of 6 months in every step, it would take you approximately 30 years to raise yourself from a salary of $4,162 to the highest salary you can earn here, the vast sum of $14,628, at which time your $14,000 would be worth approximately less than the $4,000 with which you started, which leaves you nowhere. And that is exactly where the University Administration would like us to remain, nowhere. And that's exactly where we will remain without a union as a legal bargaining unit. Thank you.
was always like a dirty word in my family. Years ago, my father was on strike, and outside agitators came in, and they had riots, and people were beaten up. It was terrible.
Sure, there are bad things about unions. I ought to know. In the 50s, when my husband was on strike, we lived on $25 a week strike pay and whatever money he could make, you know, in part-time work. And who wants to hire a striker? We went through our savings in about 4 months. So if I can say that I'm for a union, then you can depend on it. This is what we should have, because we really need the bargaining power of a union.
Why is it, Smalley? What is it?
The names of the ringleaders, sir.
Oh, you read it, Smalley.
Yes, sir. Name number 1, sir. Gabrielle Barton. Name number 2, sir. George Brown. Name number 3, sir. I don't think you're gonna like this, sir.
Damn it, man. Never mind my likes or my dislikes. Give me the name. Give me the name.
Yes, sir. It's your secretary, Ursula Waters, sir.
Mr. Smalley, should there be any error in the third name, bad things could happen to you.
There's no error, sir.
Oh, now, we can't fire the ball now, can we?
No, sir, that would be out of the question, sir. Perhaps, sir, we could try intimidation?
Intimidation, Smalley, that's what we need.
Good idea, sir. Good idea.
You see, Smalley, ultimately what we want to do is assimilate. Do you know what I mean by that, Smalley? Assimilate. Sure. See, the workers must learn to embrace those who govern them, to enjoy the administration. Assimilate.
Yes, sir.
Assimilate.
Intimidation, assimilation.
Dear Miss Lombardi, your association with certain persons involved in union activities has been noted. If you persist in these activities, it will be to your disadvantage at this establishment. Have you done anything?
Gabrielle Barton.
Gabrielle?
Who is this?
Gabrielle, why don't you knock off all this union business if you know what's good for you?
Look, would you tell me who this is?
Please, Gabrielle, please.
Look, who is this?
Here's your nomination form for negotiating committee, and you sign it right here under the union part.
Sarah, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I was wondering if the union was the only way. I mean, well, if the administration were to voluntarily recognize the staff association...
Well, I don't understand. You were the one who told me that the union was the only solution.
But that would accomplish our...
George, I just heard about your promotion. Congratulations. You deserve it. Promotion? You didn't tell me...
I didn't get a chance to say anything.
Oh, look it, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was interrupting anything. George, I just dropped by for the nomination. Oh, there it is. I've got a Xerox. Do you want to sign it? And I'll just Xerox it and get out of your way.
Gabrielle, I don't think George is going to sign. He's had second thoughts about the union.
Sarah, that's ridiculous. Don't joke about something. George, what's she talking about?
I'm not going to run on the union platform.
Yeah. I see, George. Sorry, Sarah.
Sarah, you know, you have to learn to think for yourself. I mean, just because Gabrielle thinks that the union is the only way, it doesn't mean that I have to. You've got to learn to think for yourself.
Yes, George. You're right.
Hello. I'd just like to say a couple of words of introduction before Ursula speaks. Ursula Waters, as you know, is our president of the association, and she is again running for president on a platform of unionization. You all know Sam, of course, and this is Sarah Lombardi, who is running for treasurer, and I'm Gabrielle Barton. I'm running for vice president. You probably noticed that George Brown is not here. He has decided to run on a platform of voluntary recognition. I say that this would be a sweetheart union, which would be management controlled, and if we accepted it, we would be right back where we started from. And now, I give you Ursula Waters.
Before getting into the business on hand on this very important meeting before the election, I have a letter I want you to hear. To all staff members, I want you all to think seriously about the activities of our staff association. After much soul-searching, I have decided that talk of unionization is in truth destructive to our best community interests. Mr. Smalley has announced the formation of a grievance procedure and assures us that the administration wishes to voluntarily recognize our association. Contempt of authority cannot be tolerated if the community is to survive. I have been ordered, under veiled threats of dismissal, to sign this letter. Well, I'm not going to. No. Although I know I cannot legally be fired in helping in the formation of this union, I am full certain such pressure will be brought to bear on me in the future as to make staying on in this university impossible. So I have decided to leave and seek work elsewhere. However, and I cannot stress this more forcefully, that you must not give up in your attempt to form this union. Now, as I will no longer be here, I cannot allow my name to stand for re-election. But I want to nominate someone whom I know will work very hard on your behalf. I nominate as president of the Staff Association on a union platform, Gabrielle Barton.
I don't know if this scares you, but it makes me mad. It makes me mad that management can do something like this to somebody like Ursula Waters. And I didn't want to mention this before, but George Brown is not running because management got to him and offered him a promotion, and others of us have been bribed, bullied, and intimidated. And why? Why are they doing this to us? What are they afraid of? Are they scared that we're going to make a decent wage, that they're going to have to treat us like human beings? Now, I say we must have a union.
We must be a legal bargaining union. We must be able to fight back. Now, whether or not you believe in a union, whether or not you want one, I hope to see every single one of you at the elections, because it's become a much, much more important issue than I ever thought it was. Thank you.
Women aren't interested in unions. You know what the young women around here say? They say they're only in the job for 2 or 3 years, then they're going to leave and get married. They're apathetic. They don't want to get involved. I'd like to be as brief as possible this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're all aware of the problems that face us as workers here at the university, and if you boil them down, it comes to a basic lack of communication between us as workers and the administration, which would be solved by our program of voluntary recognition of the Staff Association, because that would thereby open the channel. I want you to consider the funds of this university as a pie. Now, certain demands are made on those funds, say administration salaries and new buildings, sports programs, professor salaries, books, papers, pencils, secretaries' salaries. You can see that we as workers do not have the right or the expertise to tell the administration what to do with their money, but we do have the right to have our grievances heard. Now I'd like to introduce to you our candidate for vice president. You all know her, Miss Barbie Day.
Running for Miss Vice President. It's my greatest honor since being Miss Mississauga in 1970.
Voluntary recognition.
Oh, yeah. We want voluntary recognition in the Staff Association.
Union. I'm a professional. Let's work through the Staff Association.
And now I'd like to introduce our last speaker on our platform for unionization, Miss Sarah Lombardi, who is running for treasurer.
I would like to take this final opportunity before the election to tell you that if elected, we plan to form a union. I would also like to say that I've had considerable experience in handling funds, and I'm sure I can do a good job for you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I did wrong. I tried everything I knew. I did.
Gabrielle, will you stop punishing yourself?
No,
You've done
Sarah,
the best you can do.
Sarah, you don't understand. Those people are scared, and I don't know how to get...
It's the result. Yeah? By how much? Okay. Thanks.
We won! I mean, we won!
That was only the beginning. The first small victory in a struggle that went on for 2 more years. What followed was hundreds of meetings, the difficult task of learning the Labor Relations Act of Ontario and drawn-out legal battles with the administration. This has been a fictionalized account of what happened at York University in Toronto, and on February the 18th, 1976, 3 years after their struggle for a union first began, they finally started negotiations on their first contract.